Hello and welcome back to Chili Bee Gaming. I'm Evie, and today we're gonna finally open up that wooden chest that required 2 keys because we made one last time with Beth out of plaster. I don't know how well it's going to go with a plaster key, but we'll see. So, without any further chitter chatter from myself, let's get into it. Okay, so we need to go back upstairs now. Don't think we could go in there, could we? No. Oh dear, I don't know. Goodness me. Did we go in here? Oh yeah, that's the locker room. Right, let's get up there. Hopefully this time we'll make a little bit more progress. It was my own stupidity last time that slowed us down a little, but nonetheless, let's get back up there. Absolutely fantastic looking game, this. It really is. I'm really enjoying it. I'm so glad that it popped up on my Steam all that time ago when the demo was released. And I think I saw it on Facebook as well, on my own Facebook. So she was... oh no, that was these guys. So we need 507, don't we? Mrs Beaumont. Dee 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 dee. Let's have a little peep in here. Okay.
Be careful, Sophie. You don't want this key to break.
There's one. And there's two. Got to be careful with this one. Ooh. Yes. Wow. All right.
Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back.
Huh.
These two sure love their riddles.
In Atlanta, I noticed yours was pretty worn down, so I decided to buy you a new one. I hope you like it, and since you enjoy them so much, here's a little puzzle to figure out the combination. 2 5-letter words are the key, both related to our history. Unlike my favourite bar, this one was black. Her alternative name will surely take you back. From the first one, take the first 2. From the last one, take the last 2. Ah, so 2 5-letter words. The first 2 letters from the first one and the last 2 letters from the last one. Okay. Alright, anything else? I hope you get better. Try to rest today. I will bring you hot soup after class, M.
Huh. Marcella invited you to the movies. Let me guess. You said yes.
The Postman Always Rings Twice is playing at Lowe's Theatre tonight. It's based on a novel I read a while back. I'm sure you would love it, seeing as you like crime stories and murders so much. Nothing creepy about that. Will you come with me? M. On movie tickets, Lowe's Theatres, Montreal, Canada, 25 cents. Admit one, 25 cents. Well, how lovely. Ooh. I can barely listen to Sister Miller's lecture today in secret language. All I do is look at your lips and imagine kissing you. I can't wait for tonight. M. Oh, I see. Well. Huh. August 11th, 1946. Dear Anne, I have just heard Doris Day on the radio and it made me think of you. I know how much you love Sentimental Journey. Counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Last time I was in Texas, it felt like coming home. Now, strangely, I feel away from home. I wish you were here with me. I always feel at home in your arms. I can hardly believe it has been 5 weeks since we last saw each other. Sometimes I wonder if I might be going crazy. You're always in my head. Everything reminds me of you. Not only songs on the radio, but silly things like the flowers in our garden that smell of your shampoo. Or when people say the word darling, I can hear you say it with your lovely French accent. Darling. My family seems to have noticed my odd behaviour, but of course I can't tell them about you, even though I wish I could. I feel like climbing on the roof of the tallest building in Austin and shouting my feelings for you at the top of my lungs. God, I sound like a giddy teenager in love for the very first time. Maybe I am. Sometimes I am scared that all this time with you was nothing but a dream too good to be true. I am afraid that when I return to Montreal, I will realise you never existed, or if you do exist, you don't remember me. I wish I had a picture of the two of us, so I would know for sure it was real. I long for your embrace and the taste of your sweet lips. I love you, M. See? Hmm. Well. Oh, there they are. Together as girls. December 29th, 1947. Dear Anne, I'm sorry it took me so long to answer your last letter. Has it been 6 months already since I left Montreal? As you always say, le temps passe si vite. My parents... Sorry about the accent on that, by the way, and possibly the pronunciation in French. I don't speak French that well. My parents are glad I'm done with my studies. They always thought it was a strange idea for me to go to university. Now they want me to find a husband and have children like any other woman. I think I will. These past few months, I had a lot of time to reflect on our relationship. You know my feelings for you, and I hope you never forget how much I love you, but we cannot hide our heads in the sand any longer. We are lucky our story lasted as long as it did, and foolish to think it would last forever. Our love is forbidden, and hiding it from my family is proving more and more difficult every day. You will always have a special place in my heart, but I believe it is time for us to go our separate ways. Oh dear. You made me feel like a teenager. You made everything but the present disappear. Now I need to be an adult and think about the future. Sincerely, M. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? That's very sad. See, this is why you shouldn't stop people from... Let me rephrase that. You shouldn't stop fully grown adults who are fully consenting being in a relationship, providing that obviously there's no... They're not sort of... You know, they're not related or anything like that. So long as there's none of that going on. It's two consenting adults from completely separate families, all that jazz. Shouldn't stop them being together and being in love, because we need more love in the world, don't we? We do. All right. Let's put the letters back. Let's close it. Oh, we can't take the keys out, really? I thought we would just take the keys out, put them back, and that was it. Can we inspect? Ah, there you go. Alright. Close. There we go. Should we put the key back? Can we put the key back? It was on here, wasn't it? I think. Or was it in the drawer or something? I can't remember. Oh, we've got to find out where it was. Got to put the key back. Place key. There you go. And the world will never know. There you are. So, we know a little bit more now. Let's have a look. Okay. Past, present and future. The two keys, the letters back and forth, all of the shared memories neatly preserved for more than a decade. Anne and Marcella were in love, there's no doubt about it. But then Marcella broke things off, feeling the burden of their secret. She felt that if they parted ways and hid all of this under lock and key, that she could have a normal life. Now Anne and Marcella are both here at the Clarrington, over a decade later, in adjacent rooms. I don't think their story is over just yet. No. According to one of the letters in the chest, Anne bought Marcellas something that needs a 4-letter key to open. Could it be the case that I found on Marcella's bed in 509? Yes. I need to figure out 2 5-letter words that are both related to Anne and Marcella's past. Unlike my favourite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. Could it be white? No, this one is black. What am I talking about? Her alliterative name. Alliterative name. Doris? Doris Day? That's alliterative, isn't it? So could it be I-S, the last two? Unlike my favourite bar, this one was black. But her favourite bar, I think, will be that white cat, surely to God.
Back to 507 to try this key double. I hope it works.
We've just tried it, Sophie. Have we not? I think we've been through all this. Oh, jeez. Good God. Is there anything else? No? Wait a minute. Unlike my favourite bar, this one was black. Oh, hold fire. It's not Greta, is it? So G-R-I-S? G-R-I-S? Maybe? Forgot about that. G-R-I-S. Let's try it. Let's try it. G-R-I-S. G-R-I-S. Press the latch to open the gate. Oh, that. Look at that! Hey! Genius! So Greta was a black cat rather than a white cat. What's in here? A typewriter?
That novelist, Bridget Boswell, is actually you, Marcella?
Wow! Okay. Dear Marcella, or should I say Bridget, you know I prefer a good old crime story, but last week I came upon a romance novel with an intriguing title, and they were roommates. There you go. I bought it on impulse at a train station and read it from cover to cover during the journey. Can you imagine my surprise when I recognised our story? You may have changed the names and locations, but all of our moments are there. Our endless discussions in the dorm room, our first date at the theatre, our trip to Quebec City. You often said writers are thieves, but I never fully understood until now. It's been almost 10 years since I received your last letter, the letter that painted our relationship as nothing more than a summer fling. At first I could not believe you had written those words. Then I waited in vain for your answer, and had to accept your love for me had never been real. Ooh. For many years I was broken-hearted, angry and confused. I questioned the nature of our feelings, of our attraction, and made many wrong decisions. But this book, your book, am I foolish to think it's proof you really loved me? In any case, I hope you are well, and I am happy to see you accomplished your dream of becoming a writer. Très sincèrement. Excuse the accent again.
Oh, Anne. Murder might be a bit much, but you deserve some kind of justice.
March 25th, 1956. Dear Marcella, I didn't expect you to reply to my letter, but I am happy to see I was wrong. Your words have comforted me in a time of great distress. If only Louis was half the man you say Hector is. He has quite a temper and hits me frequently. I am willing to put up with it as long as he doesn't hurt Michael, but there are some days when it becomes almost unbearable. The other day, I dreamt of our first date. We were watching The Postman Only Rings Twice again, and suddenly we were in the movie. You were Lana Turner and I was John Garfield, and we were both plotting to kill my husband. I hate to admit it, but I almost hope it was premonitory. To answer your question, I do still have our box. My brother is currently in Atlanta for work, and I was thinking of going to see him with Michael next month. If you're able to meet me there, we could open the box together and laugh at the silly things we thought were important all those years ago. I hope to hear from you soon. Très sincèrement, A. P.S. Do you remember that secret language we invented so Sister Miller couldn't understand the notes we were passing in her class? Secret language. I still do.
I do like a happy ending. I just hope that's where your story is headed.
August 10th, 1957. Dear Marcella, thank you for sending me a signed version of your latest novel. I think it's your greatest work yet, but I do have a few comments to make the next one even better. First, I believe Rose should be more concerned with what she deserves than what her husband deserves. He may not deserve the pain she will cause by leaving him, but they both deserve to be happy, and they won't be as long as they remain together, as long as she doesn't listen to her own needs. Also, I think it would be great if your next novel ended on a more positive note. Imagine if Rose left her husband and rode into the sunset with Evie. Imagine if they went to New York or Los Angeles, someplace where people like us are tolerated. Imagine if they got to have their happy ending. It would be the best story ever. I hope you will consider it. That's it. There's no point in staying together if you're not happy. That's the facts. People say, oh, we stayed together for the kids and yada yada. But you're not happy, and your children will pick up on that, as will the rest of, your friends, your family, whatever. So, if you're not happy, give it up. Go your separate ways. You'll both be happier in the end. Très sincèrement, A. P.S. I know you say invisibility protects us, but don't you just wish to be seen sometimes? Wouldn't you like people to know you are Bridget Boswell, to recognise you on the street, to recognise you for your work? Why not publish your next novel under your own name?
Oh, so you came to Montreal under the pretense of celebrating your wedding anniversary, but all along, you meant to reunite with Anne.
January 13th, 1958. Dear Marcella, I left the house. I left Louis. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't lie anymore. How do you do it? How do you manage to live a double life? To hide your work and your novels from your husband? I had so much less to hide, and yet... Michael and I are staying at the Clarendon Hotel until we find a place to stay and the divorce is done. I don't know how long it will take. Could you come and see me in Montreal? I really need you by my side right now. Très sincèrement, A. P.S. I wouldn't put it past Louis to scour every hotel guestbook in the region looking for me under his surname, so I've registered under the name Beaumont. Interesting. Well, now we have a little bit more info.
There's a lot of stuff in here. I don't think I've looked at everything yet.
What? Well, I'm sure
After all this, turns out you're a fan of Bridget? Of Marcella? That's a lot sweeter than I expected. I'm glad you were able to open up to Marcella like this. Everyone needs someone to talk to.
September 27th, 1957. Although you don't know me, I can safely say I am your biggest fan. Your novels have literally changed my life. After the war, I spent almost 10 years in a psychiatric hospital because of panic attacks. None of the treatments were working, and I wasn't getting any better. I became friends with one of the nurses, who started lending me books so I could pass the time. I didn't really like the first ones, but then I picked up Bridget Boswell's first novel, your novel. I had never read such a beautiful love story. It almost brought me to tears. I immediately urged the nurse to get me more of your books. Believe it or not, the more I read, the less panic attacks I had. The doctors thought it was their new medication finally working, but I knew the truth. Your novels gave me the courage to get in contact with Lindsay, a friend from the war. I had always felt for him the same way your characters feel for each other, but I had never dared telling him. Now I have. Thanks to you, the thought of seeing him again is what motivates me to get better and leave the hospital. I hope to hear back from him soon. So Lindsay was a man. I see. Wow. Well, awesome. I always thought Lindsay was... I suppose Lindsay could be a man's name, maybe. I don't know. But, well, anyway, what else? After my discharge, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for me. I discovered Bridget was a pseudonym, so tracking you down took longer than I thought. Fortunately, I am a very patient and resourceful man and never give up. Do you think we could meet? I have so much more to tell you. That's a little bit iffy, Paul. November 8th, 1957. Dear Marcella, thank you for answering my letter. I realise how unsettling it must have been for you. Now, please forgive me for tricking your editor into giving me your address. I know I shouldn't have done that. I wanted to thank you as well for your encouraging words concerning Lindsay. I still haven't heard from him, and I'm starting to fear I might have the wrong address. I wish I could take a train to Virginia, but that's not an option right now as I can barely pay the rent. I guess I will have to find a job. As a kid, I dreamt of being an actor, a Hollywood star. I know it's a foolish dream, but what else can I do? What am I good at? I've tried getting some odd jobs already, but employers turn me down as soon as they learn I've spent the last 10 years of my life. Where I've spent the last 10 years of my life. If it continues like this, I'll probably end up on the street like so many of my army buddies. Why am I even telling you all this? After reading your books and getting to know you through them, I tend to forget I'm only a stranger to you. I hope you don't mind. You seem to be a good listener, and I've been feeling rather lonely ever since I left the hospital. Anyway, please tell me more about your life, and do not hesitate to write long letters. I must read your previous one. I must have read your previous one 1,000 times already. Ooh, Paul's getting a little weird about it, I think.
An advance on my salary. So Marcella hired you. But what for?
December 5th, 1957. Dear Marcella, I've just read a letter from Lindsay's mother. She tells me he's dead. Words cannot even begin to describe how empty I feel. He died 2 years ago, before I even sent my first letter. He will never know my feelings for him, and I will never know if he could have loved me back. I guess I should have known this would end in pain, just like your novels. I wish I had Lindsay's ability to find beauty everywhere. Even during the war, amidst the death and chaos, he would marvel at the forests of Germany, at the sun, the birds. He loved birds so much. He could identify them just by listening to their song. I have to admit your proposition took me by surprise. I was hesitant to leave home at first. I was afraid to miss Lindsay's answer. But now there's nothing to keep me here. I am desperate for anything that will help me forget the pain. But I don't have enough money to make it to Texas. Do you think you could give me an advance on my salary? In spite of everything, I'm really excited to know I'll finally meet you, Paul.
Oh, Lindsay's a man. Yeah, I guess it was presumptuous of me to think otherwise.
Well...
So, let me get this straight. Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz are some kind of star-crossed lovers?
Seems like it, yeah. But I'm not sure whether they chose to meet here just to reconnect for a few days, or if there's something more to it.
Well, I may be able to help with that.
Really? How?
Oh, some mail arrived earlier for Mrs. Beaumont.
Oh. I wonder what's inside.
I wonder what's in it.
We could open it.
I mean, that's kinda illegal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, too late. I've always known I would end up in prison one day.
Jesus.
So?
It's 3 train tickets. And, there's a tourism pamphlet for California.
California?
Well, it makes sense. It's much more progressive there than it is here.
So, Anna and Marcella want to go there to live their love freely.
Anne and Marcella, huh? You 3 are best pals now?
Well, after reading so much of their correspondence, I kind of feel like I know them, you know?
Yeah. But what about Mr. Morgan, though? I mean, Paul. How does he fit into all of this?
He was a fan, but she has hired him. Yeah, Marcella hired him.
I think Marcella hired him. I found some letters Paul wrote to her. He said that her proposition took him by surprise, and that he'd need an advance on his salary.
What did she hire him for? To investigate her own affair?
I'm not sure. I didn't find the letter he was replying to.
And why did he have those pictures of you anyway?
I
Yeah.
guess we'll never know for sure, but I don't think it was ever about me.
It's always been about Anne and Marcella.
Exactly.
Well, it feels a tad anticlimactic, but who needs drama, right?
At least it made our day pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It sure did. You know, after today, I think I get why you're so interested in the lives our guests lead. I try to forget they exist as soon as I'm done interacting with them. But once in a while, it's nice to remember that, well, even the most put-together person could be an absolute mess on the other side of the door.
And who are you behind closed doors? No. None of us are perfect.
You're right. Everyone likes to put on a show, but none of us are actually perfect.
Yeah, it's a comforting thought. I knew you'd get it, Bean.
What is this
Come see
bean
me when
thing?
your shift ends, all right? We could leave together if you want.
Sure. If we're able to. With all that snow, I'm thinking maybe we'll have no choice but to spend the night here.
Ooh, a sleepover. We could set up a pillow fort on the mezzanine.
A pillow fort? We do work in a hotel, you know. There are actual beds here.
I know, but isn't my way so much more fun?
I mean,
Well,
kind of.
we could take a page out of Michael's book and decorate it, and then spend the night throwing stuff at Bernard whenever he comes through the lobby.
Oh, now you're talking.
Okay, well,
I just have to finish my tasks for the day, and then I can leave.
awesome. Right, well, tell you what, let's make sure we close this back up. So nobody knows we've been in. Close the door. We emptied the trash, we've done everything in here. Yep. Oh god. There we go. Oh, apparently I have to go this way. What? Did I see blood on the floor? Or is it paint? Oh my god. Oh god, somebody's going to be collapsed in the doorway. Oh no! Oh no, my god! Who's that? Is that Bernard? Oh, Sophie, jeez. Call, get on the phone, call the police or something. Don't touch him.
Mr. Cruz?
Oh, it's Mr. Cruz.
Mr. Cruz. Oh god. Oh god. What happened?
What's this?
Is this about Paul? Does that mean...
Dear Mr. Cruz, thank you for reporting that guest's unacceptable behaviour. We will look into it as soon as possible. However, I regret to inform you that we cannot divulge a guest's personal information regardless of that guest's behaviour. I am sure you will understand we are very concerned with our guest's privacy and our staff prides itself on its discretion. Please contact us should that guest bother you again. Yours sincerely, Bernard Leduc, Hotel Manager.
Mr. Cruz's life insurance policy. Why did he have this on him?
Yeah. Life insurance policy. Hector R. Cruz, Marcella B. Cruz. February 6, 1958. February, yeah. 78 is expiry. $10,000, wow.
Marcella? Okay, let's not jump to conclusions.
Don't think there's anything else we need to click on. A mean, maybe he did it. Maybe they hired him to murder him. Oh my god. Okay. Let's. All right. All's well that ends well. After looking inside Marcella's typewriter case, I think everything's fallen into place. There are a few lingering questions, but I think this is as far as the story goes for now. Anne and Marcella arranged to be here at the same time so that they could rekindle the relationship they'd started when they were in college. I really feel for them after spending the day learning their story. I hope it has a happy ending. Hector. What on earth happened here? I was on the 5th floor and heard the elevator door ringing repeatedly, so I went to check it out. I found Hector's body between the elevator doors, lying in a pool of blood. I checked his pulse and couldn't find anything. On his person were 2 pieces of paper, a letter from Bernard and a copy of Hector's life insurance policy. My head is swirling with questions. What does it all mean? How did this happen? Who could have done this to Hector, if this was in fact someone else's doing? Oh my days, this is blurmin' heck. Anne's letter to Marcella, yep. Well, jeez.
Please let there be someone around who can help.
Oh, God. Lights out. And then the lights went out. As if the situation wasn't ominous enough. I need to get the power running again and then I can figure out what to do about poor Hector. I may as well try fiddling with the fuse box in the janitor's office.
I have to get the power back on.
This is awful. It was all fun and games until somebody got murdered. Can we?
It's too big. I guess I'll need something pointier.
Pointier. Lockpick needed. Damn it! The fuse box is locked and I have to get it open. No calling Eugene for help now. What could I use to pry it open? There must be something here on the 5th floor. We've got so much clutter around, I'm sure I'll find something if I go looking. Aye.
Think, Sophie, think. What can you use to open the fuse box?
Is there anything in here?
I don't think there's anything here that would help me. Might need this to restore power.
Something pointier. Is there anything here? No? Say it was all fun and games until all this happened. Dear me. Is there anything in the guest rooms that I could use? Oh, no. Like a hairpin? Surely Marcella would have a hairpin. Do you think? No? Really? Maybe something this way? Oh God, look at this.
This can wait.
Something pointier. Hmm. 503. What about at this end? Is there another janitor's closet? An ice pick. The thing is, the ice pick's the murder weapon.
Marcella's pearls. What happened here?
What's this? Cigarettes.
A. B. and Beaumont.
Thing is, she said that she was using it as an alias, wasn't she? So why would you have a cigarette case made with an alias? Oh God, we're gonna have to use the ice pick, aren't we? To get the lights back on, but...
Okay. This looks like something I can use to open the fuse box.
What's this?
Poor Paul. Lindsay's death really hit him hard. He hasn't been in the best headspace.
February 14th, Montreal's bigger than I had expected. Big cities always make me feel lonely, and that feeling was only exacerbated this morning by the fact that everyone around me was speaking a language I could not understand. I bought an English-French dictionary at the train station, but I don't think I'll need it after all. English speakers seem more common in the downtown area. Thank God. The hotel is nice. When I arrived, the whole staff was busy getting ready for some big event. It wasn't until I saw Marcella enter the lobby with a flower bouquet that I realised today is Valentine's Day. Hector and her were gone in a flash, and I was left feeling more alone than ever, wishing Lindsay was here with me. Helping Marcella out these past weeks has been a great distraction, but it still hurts so much every time I think about him. I had hoped the pain would have gone by now. I'll probably need a double dose of Miltone to sleep tonight.
So Paul just needed to pass the time while Marcella was away. That's why he was observing us.
February 15th. Today, I wanted to follow Marcella and Hector out of the hotel, but the sidewalks were so packed with people that I started having a panic attack. I tried taking a cab, and that's when I realised I was all out of money. It's been a while since Marcella's last payment, and the hotel room was more expensive than I'd anticipated. I couldn't resort to selling the camera, so I decided to pawn my victory medal instead. It was hard letting it go after so many years, and yet it also felt strangely liberating. Maybe it's a sign I shouldn't be holding on to the past so much. To fight boredom until Marcella and Hector's return, I started looking at the hotel staff. I heard Andrew and Beth at the reception desk discussing books and movies. They both seemed like nice people. I wish I had found the courage to join their conversation. When you look at people all day and they never look back, you start feeling invisible. I noticed that Sophie, the maid in charge of cleaning the 5th floor, seemed to share my interest for other people's lives. Maybe I should try talking to her.
Paul was hiding out right here. Did he ever find the person who was sneaking out at night?
February 16th. Who's sneaking out of their room at night? The question has been driving me crazy since my first night at the hotel, so tonight I decided to investigate. I found a hiding spot near the ice machine with a nice view of the whole corridor. My camera's at the ready, but there's been no movement for at least 3 hours, and I'm fighting not to fall asleep. No need for Miltone tonight. I thought being a detective would be more exciting. Maybe Marcella's right. Maybe it's time to let go of Mr. Spade.
9:45? So Anne and Marcella met here this morning while I was busy cleaning room 504.
February 17th. I awoke around 9:30 a.m. and realised I had fallen asleep sometime in the early morning. I was about to go back to my room when the guest from room 507 came to sit on one of the chairs close by. She's been there ever since, and I don't dare leave my hiding spot in front of her. Marcella joined the guest from 507 at around 9:45. Apparently she's told Hector she didn't love him anymore, and he's now convinced she's been cheating on him. That explains why he assaulted me out of the blue yesterday evening and accused me of having an affair with his wife. The guest from 507, I've learned her name is Anne, has just said she might have an idea how to solve their problem. I'm thinking of revealing myself, but I don't want to anger Marcella. The longer I wait, the more awkward it will be when I come out. Maybe I should. So.
Looks like Paul had to stop writing in a hurry. What happened? I was listening to the radio at the time. Did the music drown out the noise?
Did they do the husband in? No, they can't have done him in then because... What's this?
Oh, so Paul's work with Marcella was to follow her around like a private investigator, to help her with research for her novel.
Oh. Dear Paul, I'm sorry to hear you are in such a dire situation. You seem to possess a lot of useful skills, and it's a shame employers cannot see past your medical history. But don't despair. I have been writing novels for almost 8 years now. My publisher takes most of the sales revenue, but I was still able to collect a substantial sum of money over the years. Now I would like to use that money to hire you. I'm getting tired of romance novels, and I'm thinking of branching out into crime fiction. As a sort of research, I would like you to follow me around town and take notes of my comings and goings. I am aware this is a very unusual job, but considering you were able to track me down, I believe you would make a great private detective. In addition to your salary, I would cover all work-related expenses, and you would, of course, be the first to read the manuscript once it's finished. Sincerely, M.
Paul really got into his role.
Dear Paul, I hope spying on me isn't proving too exhausting. You've really inspired me so far, and I already have tons of ideas. The trench coats you bought were a nice touch. You look straight out of a film noir. I also noticed you started smoking. It's probably another way for you to get into character, but maybe it's pushing it a little too far. You know best, of course, but don't pick up drinking next. At this rate, I should be able to start writing in 2 or 3 weeks. Thanks again for your help, M.
He followed Marcella to Montreal even though she was done with her research.
Paul, why did you follow me to Montreal? As I already told you, I do not require your services anymore. I'm starting to worry you are taking your role a bit too seriously. You are not a real detective. You have to let go. Well. Something's clearly not right. Good God. Okay, let's go and open up this fuse box and see what's going on. Oh, we didn't read the notes. Lockpick needed. Damn it! The fuse box is locked and I have to get it open. No calling Eugene for help this time. What can I use to pry it open? There must be something here on the 5th floor. I've got so much clutter around. I'm sure I'll find something if I just go looking. Oh, I read that already, didn't I? Pearl necklace. Oh, this is not good, you know.
The fuse box. Just get to the fuse box in the janitor's closet, Sophie. It's not far.
Okay.
That worked, thank God. Now, to get the power back.
I see. Okay, so...
Eugene, what I would give to have you with me right now. Your note will have to make do.
If there's a power outage and I'm busy preventing another part of this hotel from collapsing, here's what to do. Check the fuse box plan for required amperage of each socket. Remove all blown fuses from the sockets. Blown fuses are usually blackened. Screw in new fuses in sockets. Make sure amperage is correct. Flick big lever to restore power. Eugene. Cool, Eugene. Right, so... are usually blackened? Would you say that's blackened? So it needs to be a 15 amp fuse. So...
how did this end up here?
handy
Not
dandy.
much use without the rest of the code. Unless... those numbers I found in the laundry room. Could they be part of the same combination?
Mm-hmm. See. Right, so A is a 15 amp, so we want to put type A there. Okay, and then that one needs to be a 20 amp, so 20 amp is a type S. Oop. Okay, well.
No power. I think I need to change all of the blown fuses.
Oh. Okay, well that one needs to be a 30 amp fuse, so it's type G.
How does Eugene do this again? Fuses. I probably need new fuses.
Has he got one over here somewhere? Type G? No? Anything over here?
How does Eugene do this again? Fuses.
Oh,
I probably need new fuses.
missed that one there. Bloody hell. Stupid woman. Okay. Bam! We frickin' did it, baby. You restored the power on the 5th floor. Okay. Safe code list. Yes. Might be worth having a nosy in there. Fusing fuses. I used an ice pick from the ice room to get the fuse box open, but I should have guessed my work wouldn't end here. Why couldn't there just be a switch labelled power that I could flip? Some of the fuses on the panel have blown, so replacing those should be the first thing I should do. Thank God Eugene left detailed instructions on the inside of the fuse box. It's helpful, in a way, having a task to focus on to keep my thoughts away from Hector. Seeing the light. I've never been more grateful for electricity. The light from the window in the janitor's closet was enough for me to see what I was doing with the fuse box. And it occurred to me that it had been later in the day. I would have been up the creek without a paddle. I'll head down to the lobby and go straight to reception and get the police on the phone. This nightmare is almost over, or so I hope. Yeah, but we've still got the pick. And we want to go in there safe. Let's have a look in there safe, shall we? So... Oh, wait a minute.
Power's back. Now I should go down to the lobby. Call the police.
So 509. 23-4. 23-4. 23-4. Oh God. Oh, good grief, really? 23-4. 23-42-16. 22-43-60. 40. God damn it. 23, 42, 23, 42, 16, 23, 42, 16, okay, 23, ooh, 42, ooh, 42, 16. Oh my God. You ruined my life, you effing moron. I lost my house, my family, everything, and now you refuse to pay the money you owe me? For years I gave you my hard-earned money. It was all for nothing. I hope you and the All-American burn in hell. S.W. A woman and 3 children killed in house fire. The Williams house, located on 32nd Street, is a total loss. 4 members of a family died in a residential fire last night. According to police and firefighters, flames were seen coming from the 2-story house by a neighbour at around 3 a.m. It took firefighters about 1 hour to extinguish the blaze. The bodies of a woman and 3 children were found in the house. Police identified the victims as Meredith Williams, 32, and her children Thomas, 12, David, 9, and Sarah, 6. Samuel Williams, the husband, managed to escape the house unharmed.
The bodies of a woman and 3 children. 3 children.
That was where we started, didn't we?
Is there anything I've forgotten? Once I leave this floor, I probably won't be able to come back.
Good God. So basically we need to explore everything that we possibly can before we leave the floor. My God. Well, folks, what a turn up for the books. My goodness. 509. Yep, Hector's gun. My God. Other. Samuel Williams. Samuel Williams is a client of Hector Cruz. He lost his wife and 3 children in a residential fire, but Cruz's company refused to pay his insurance claim. Holding Hector responsible for his current situation, Williams has been sending him death threats, and it would seem Hector took the threats seriously enough considering he brought a gun on his wedding anniversary trip. Now, if my hunch is correct, It would seem Williams is staying in the Clarrington at room 504. Those 3 singed teddy bears that I saw in his room when cleaning it this morning. At first they just seemed a little odd, but now they're downright tragic. Did Williams act on his death threats? Is he responsible for Hector's fate? A missing piece. I couldn't resist circling back to room 509 one last time. Call it a gut feeling or something. I managed to open the safe and found a gun, a newspaper clipping, and an aggressive note accusing Hector and the insurance company he worked for of ruining the sender's life, signed SW. That's when it hit me. The guest in room 504 is a man staying alone with 3 singed teddy bears. Does that mean what I think it means? Is SW here at the Clarrington? And if so, is he the one responsible for Hector's fate? My God. Well, I think we're going to leave it there for today, folks. But what a turnaround. My goodness. Affairs, stalking, murder. Jeez. It's all going on. But we'll find out what's going on properly next time. So until next time, be safe, be good, and look after yourselves.